Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our very first live stream event. We are super excited to have you guys here. We are about 7 o'clock. We've got about 84 people in the room right now watching the stream. We are going to wait a few minutes for anyone who might be joining us. This announcement isn't going to take a long time, so we do want to give people a chance to join in. I'll introduce the group. My name is Mike Riviello. I'm the marketing director with Georgia Cycling Association. On the screen joining me is Kenny Griffin. He is our executive director. And my teammate, Mark Legaspi, he is our program director here. That title is a little misleading. You'll get a little bit more on what Mark's role here is by the end of this event. But we are excited to have you in tonight. We've got about 94 people in the room. If you have a question, we're going to cover a lot of stuff tonight. If you have a question, my colleagues Kenny and Mark are really going to take the bulk of this. I'm going to be watching in the chat. And so if you've got a question, drop it in the chat on our YouTube. We've got Coach Josh from FOCO Composite in the house. We've got Jim in there as well, saying that we see you now, and got a few people in there. Drop a question in. I will punt it to either Mark or Kenny to get you the answer. But that will allow you guys to ask any questions, and we will try to answer everything we can. We are really excited about tonight's announcement. This is about a little over a year and some change in the works, and so it's huge for us. We hope that you find it as exciting as we do. We will give another couple of minutes. We're at 105 people. That is awesome. So we'll give another few minutes here, and then we shall begin. 7454 Ash, hello to you as well. All around SC World, hey back. Go STR wrong, strong. Thomas, how are you this evening?
Strong composite.
Preston York, Flow Motion Trail Builders. Great to have you guys here.
Thanks a ton for joining, Preston.
Montgomery crew is watching. Happy to have you guys here. If you're in there, drop in the chat where you're watching from. Columbus is watching. Good to have you guys. Art Slayton giving us a thumbs up this evening. Give it about one more minute and then we shall begin. If you're just joining us, we want to thank you for joining the live stream tonight. Rome Composite, they are in the house as well. And if you have just joined and you didn't hear the message at the beginning during this announcement, if you've got any questions, please drop them in the chat. Mark and Kenny will be speaking. I'll be watching the chat room here, and we'll try to get an answer to your question. Some things we'll be able to answer tonight, other things won't. That'll make more sense in just a minute. Forsyth Central. Okay, now we're going here. Lumpkin County MTB is here. Wes and Nicole from Trojans. Prima Tapa Composites. They are excited. Brian McIntosh from North DeKalb Composite and Decatur are both there. Denmark in the house. White County. Wow, now we're coming fast and furious. So let's begin. Mr. Griffin, I shall turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Let's go, everybody. I'm Kenny Griffin, Executive Director, as you can see on my screen, and just want to thank you all for taking the time to join tonight on this special announcement. As Mike mentioned earlier, and the call. We've been working on this project for some time now, and we've been doing our best to keep a tight lid on it. And so we're excited to give you more details. So I'm excited to announce a statewide mountain bike program expansion to include elementary school age students. And that program is now called the Trail Rangers. And the new program, the age range that the new program will focus on is 3rd through 5th grade. I'll talk a little bit about the why behind the program. As a nonprofit, we constantly feel the need to continue our reach and our mission to reach as many kids as possible and to introduce them to the sport of mountain biking. As you can imagine, there's been a huge demand for this over the last 10 years. Thank you all for encouraging us and motivating us and supporting us to move forward with this expansion. As an organization, we wanted to make sure that we had the capacity and the timing was right to do a really good job and put quality over quantity, which has been one of our main focuses since the beginning. We also believe that after doing this for 10 years and serving youth and monitoring program outcomes very closely, that we see a big need to introduce kids at a younger age to healthy and active habits through programs. We also believe that this program expansion is going to be a key element for us growing female participation, not only at the student level, but at the coach level as well. And as a matter of fact, this program has been strategically created and structured to meet both of those objectives. So I look forward to sharing more about that in the months to come. The Trail Rangers core theme at the heart of the program, you'll find the words play and connect. The program has a focus on skill development through gameplay, making new friends, and fostering the love of the sport for the 3rd through 5th grade students. In addition to those high-level plugs tonight, my colleague Mark will jump into more details that I'm sure you're interested in hearing about, but we would like to take a special opportunity and moment to thank the generosity of 2 key foundations that are providing the support for us as an organization to create this program expansion. The first foundation we'd like to thank is the Chestnut Family Foundation. We're grateful for your support. And the second foundation that we'd like to thank is the Atlanta Falcons Youth Fund. And that's an associate-led fund of the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation. So very grateful for your support as well. So on behalf of Georgia Cycling Association, our board of directors, staff, volunteers, just very grateful for everyone taking the opportunity to listen in tonight. I look forward to Mark giving you more details, but I'd like to introduce Mark Legaspi, our Trail Rangers Program Director.
Thank you, Kenny. Well, good evening to all of our Georgia Cycling families and our soon-to-be families for those of you that will be joining us for the 2024 season. Before I provide a little bit more about this exciting program, just want to address my gratitude basically for being part of the process and to further expand our second to none program, which is, you all know, Georgia Cycling. And of course, you already know, but we hear it time and time again, but still want to mention it based on this platform. Just want to mention that we have something special here in Georgia. All right, the fine leadership, the staff, the partnerships, the families and communities all make this happen. And again, this is one example for tonight. All the folks that are joining us tonight, I know everybody's been eager and they want to hear what's going on. And we've been sitting back in the shadows wanting to let everybody know. And now's the moment that we can provide to everyone. Now, with that being said, we won't be able to tell you everything, more to follow on that, but this gives you a good snapshot of where we are today and where we want to be. So a key word that Kenny noted was plan connect. Everything, and I mean that sincerely, everything that shapes this program is centered around plan connect. All right, so that's what shapes the Trail Ranger program, and we're going to carry it all across the full spectrum for the program. So in and out, and we had to keep going back to say this is what we want to do. This is what our end state is, and to this point right now, I'm pretty confident that we've met that. So we want to see smiles and enjoyment not only for our 3rd through 5th grade trail rangers, we're going to see them across the full spectrum. Our coaches, our families, our supporters, and anyone that plays a role in this program. So with that, I'll jump right into some of the small snapshots of information that will help answer some of your questions. And as Mike said earlier, we won't be able to answer every question right now. And so we're holding a little bit of that as we move forward. But the bottom line on it, the program. All right. So what is this program? Well, again, it's the 3rd through 5th grade focus program, and it's going to be basically a turnkey program. That turnkey program is going to be based on a 10-week community-based program. What does that really mean? Well, what that means for us to you is it includes a full built-out curriculum. And that curriculum contains lesson plans, all the supporting materials, everything that a program would need, all right, from start to finish. All right, so we have you covered in everything to make a successful program, and also for you to be, have that pleasure to be part of the program. Season timelines, what does it look like? Well, right now here for 2024, we're still in that development, that timeline, but we have a pilot program in place. All right, that pilot program is going to help us test out all the things that we've created. There's been a lot of folks that have contributed to where we are at today. And so we're going to test that out, see if we got it right, and then we'll be able to polish it all off. So as we start the 2025 season. So the official program launch will be 2025. And you're going to see that in the spring timeframe. So it's going to be an offset season from our traditional 6th through 12th grade programs. You're going to see it in March to early May is what we're looking at. And within that structure, that season, we're going to see 4 events. Of course, we're used to seeing events at the later part of the season for our 6th through 12th. Well, we'll see events here, but they're going to be all focused and centered around, again, the Plan Connect aspect of the program. And we're calling those events expeditions. All right, so a totally different flavor, all right, but the still quality product that you're used to seeing in production. All right, low barrier to entry. So as you see, as we go into and speak a little bit about low barrier to entry, all the things I've kind of mentioned thus far kind of still center around that Plan Connect. We want smiles on everybody's faces to include all those folks that will make these programs, flourish. And so another piece to that is the low barrier of entry. We're going to look at a community model versus an interscholastic model that we're used to seeing. We're going to keep it fun. We're going to remove the competitive atmosphere within it. And it's going to be appropriately based for those age groups. We'll still be able to provide, or you will see all the standard aspects to our 6th through 12th grade programs in terms of the loaner bike fleets. All right, yep, we're going to have some loaner bike fleets of all ranges, of all sizes for our little ones to include financial aid. So again, low barrier to entry, making it possible for everybody to participate. And really that's all in a nutshell. I know that was very quick, straight to the point, but that'll get things going for you, let you know a little bit about the program. And then as we move forward, if you're interested in starting something like this, a program in your community, just reach out and contact me. I'm Mark Legaspi. I'm the programs director for the Trail Ranger program. So that was a lot said in a very short period of time, but hopefully you'll be able to pick that up and resonate from that. And I'll hand it back over to Kenny.
I'm actually going to jump in here real quick, Mark. Lonnie Milligan has asked a question about timing. And Lonnie, the answer is that the Trail Rangers program will be in the springtime. So we're currently envisioning March, and it would last for 10 weeks in the springtime. We also, at this juncture, want to announce a new name for what we have been calling this evening our 6 through 12 program. So we are now going to call that Team MTB. And so that is our way to distinguish the two different programs, Team MTB being exactly what you have come to know as Georgia's youth cycling league. It still continues with the same interscholastic teams, same race model. Everything remains the same. We're just calling it Team MTB right now because we've been calling it Georgia Cycling, and now we've got a new program called Trail Rangers. So we kind of needed a name, right? So we've got Trail Rangers, Team MTB, and they will not overlap. Trail Rangers will be in the spring, and then July 1st will continue with Team MTB, and that will continue through the early part of November. No changes on the Team MTB side of things, except for a new name. All right, we've got some questions here. Feeds right into Team MTB if for a fifth grader. That is correct. So we've got community models, and Mark, correct me here if I'm wrong. We've got community-based models for Trail Rangers, and that would then feed into a potential interscholastic team when the kid moves from fifth to sixth, correct?
No, that's absolutely correct. And again, going back to that Plan Connect piece, a program, catered specifically for that third through fifth grade, rider, and it will build up. There's still, and without going into too much detail on the curriculum, it will build up skills. There'll be activities and gameplay, and so we will create that atmosphere. We're going to shape it. So we're going to shape. This is an opportunity for us to shape the culture. Bring that culture in at an earlier age. So not only again for the riders, but also parents, future coaches, expanding communities. And so when we start earlier, we'll shape it appropriately to provide that top-notch experience, and all that will carry through. Hopefully everybody will continue for the 6th through 12th grade program, which is Team MTB. It was tough for me not to say that while I was going through everything. So I had to really think it in my head to not say that and still continue on with the 6th to 12th grade. So, but yes, going back to that, separate seasons, it will be a shaping mechanism, and we're going to keep it fun.
We've got a question from Coach Josh with Foco Composite. How often would the group meetups happen?
Great question. Remember the Play and Connect and keeping smiles on everyone's faces. All right, so we've developed that 10-week program. All right, so there are specific lessons. We're calling them sessions that will be laid out extensively, and it'll be a build-up piece for progression going to the end of the season. So typically we want to keep it at a minimum, and I can say this: we're looking at one session per week is what we're looking at, and that keeps everything manageable, and it allows folks to do other things as well.
Rich has a question. Sorry, I was confusing two names here. Can older kids get involved in helping to coach? So could an older kid who's part of Team MTB, and Kenny, I'll kick this one to you, can an older kid who's maybe part of Team MTB help coach on the Trail Ranger side?
Yeah, great question, Rich. And the answer is yes. We're working on a student mentor and leadership program within a program model for the 25 launch. We know that when upperclassmen and other kids get involved at the program level, it becomes something really special, right? And we know that was a special component that we've looked at very hard We'll have more details on that probably towards the end of the year. There will be limitations, of course, as you can imagine, but we will be launching with that component.
Art Slayton has a question, and I will start it, and either one of you guys can answer it, finish it rather. So Art's question is, so will each team have a Trail Ranger program? And what I want to back up to, Art, is that this is going to be what we're calling community-based programs, but really it's on the county level. So Fulton County might have multiples, whereas a different county might only have one. So when I say multiples, we might have a Fulton North, a Fulton East, a Fulton West, depending on there is a max as to how many kids can be part of one Trail Ranger program. So how that translates into a Team MTB situation, I will toss to either one of my colleagues, whoever wants it.
Actually, we can both probably tell in on this one here. It's a good question. And when we're looking at it, community-based program, for an example, just to kind of give you a visual, for instance, a team could be stood up, a program could be stood up, and that program could consist of, say, families or coaches of different cities, different counties within a reasonable region. So, for instance, say a Dawson County can have Dawson County coaches, Forsyth County coaches, a Lumpkin County coach, and they can have one team. And so I'm going to refrain from using the word team, trying to use program to center it all on there. So we want to kind of paint that picture that there's not necessarily a habitual relationship with an existing team. So say I'll use Dawson Composite. There's not a Dawson Composite elementary team per se. And so if that kind of helps paint that picture for you. And then Kenny, you can probably add to that.
Yeah, no, that's great, Mark. One of the themes that you'll continue to hear about the Trail Rangers program is a low barrier to entry. So we know that the interscholastic model can pose some challenges for families to get to practice locations, commute time based on where the parent works, things like that. We want to remove all those barriers in the Trail Rangers program, and we want the family to be able to have access to the program and pick whatever community program works for them. And so, as Mark mentioned, coaches can coach towards any community program. Parents can feel free to pick whatever location works the best for them. And when it comes to a densely populated area, say a trail system like Blankets Creek, you could have 3 different Trail Rangers program weekly sessions happening on the same trail system. And so more to report on that in the coming months. We'll lay that out for you on the webpage, and it'll be more digestible.
Lonnie Milligan has another good question. And Mark, will you go into his question is, are these sessions run by Georgia Cycling, or are these local events run by Georgia Cycling teams? And Jolie has chimed in and said local, and he is correct. But will you talk a little bit about what we're calling season in a duffel, and how this is kind of custom built for the elementary audience?
Absolutely. And it's that 10-week program that I mentioned earlier. And so those sessions will be run by those specific programs that are stood up, that register for Georgia Cycling. And then when we come together for a culminating event, which would be the expeditions, that would be hosted and managed. That production would be by Georgia Cycling Association.
Yeah,
David, oh, sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
just to piggyback off of that, so there's an individual within a community that's passionate about serving this age range through the sport of mountain biking. You'll go through a process just like there's a process on the Team MTB side, where we'll filter the onboarding, make sure it's a good alignment. The flag will be planted, so to speak. We'll put you through the proper training provide you the proper materials to Mark's point, give you everything you need to know about serving that age range through the 10-week program. So we'll have everything taken care of.
And Mark, if you are in Dawson County on week 1, you are doing the same thing that Forsyth County is doing in week 1, correct?
That is correct. So all programs that are registered within Georgia Cycling, when we will have a designated start date, and so all those organizations will do week 1 session, week 2, week 3, etc. And that allows a build-up and progression where all of our young riders are all at the same level. That's our desired flow and end state for the program, and then they'll all be ready for the expeditions at the end.
David from Forsyth Central wants to know, will there be race weekends? We kind of touched on that earlier, but maybe you go into a little bit more about our adventure days.
Yes. So the let's not let's I guess let's see. We're familiar with our race events for the now Team MTB program. For the elementary program, the Trail Ranger program, we'll have expeditions. And in those expeditions, there's going to be some events going on within it. There'll be activities, there'll be certain on the bike activities and skills, etc. And there will be a trail ride. I'll leave it at that for now. But there will be an aspect, a component to it where all of our riders will be on bikes, similar to what you normally see at our race event weekends with Team MTB.
If I just can add one thing, for this age range, it's really important for us to create opportunities on the event platform where every 3rd through 5th grade child can see themselves participating at the event level. And so progressively, we will design those on and off the bike activities to meet those objectives and take a progressive build, as you have seen us, for example, through middle school, getting kids prepared for high school. We'll be doing the same thing to get them prepared for the 6th grade entry time for the Team MTB. So a lot more to come there.
Will there be a summit for just this program, for the coaches of this program?
Yes. So sorry, there was a pause there. I thought you were going to jump in, Kenny. Yes, there will be a summit. And so there's that formal aspect of the administrative side and the certification side that we're all used to seeing with our middle school and high school. And so without getting into down to details on that, there will be a summit specifically for the Trail Ranger program. And more to follow on that. And it will not, we'll let you know, it will not be for 2024.
And one additional thing to add there, we know, the leadership and the communities behind the 84 existing Team MTB teams, so to speak. We know that you all know someone within your community that's passionate about this age range. And so a huge goal of this program of ours is to recruit new coaches, specifically new female coaches as well. And so we've designed the coach licensing requirements, which we won't get into tonight, to be able to meet those objectives. And so we want parents that want to continue to be involved or take the opportunity to be involved in their child's sporting activities to be able to accomplish that. So we think we've met those objectives and those goals. And you'll see more about that when we roll out coach licensing for the Trail Rangers program later this fall.
All right, we've got a couple minutes remaining. If there are any questions out there, we are happy to answer them. We've got another few minutes left. Still got 100 people watching, so if you've got a question, hit us up with that. But if you joined us late, to recap, we have got a brand new program. It's called Trail Rangers. It is for 3rd through 5th grade elementary school kids, homeschool, public school, private school. It is a local community-based program. So it is based on county level as opposed to the interscholastic model that we have on what we are now calling Team NTB, which is the 6th through 12th grade program. And that program, other than a new name, remains as status quo, no changes to that. Trail Rangers are expected to launch in 2025. More details coming later this summer. Any additional questions that you have, drop in the chat. I'll throw it to Kenny and Mark if they've got any last minute things they want to add.
I just want to say thank you to all of you that attended tonight. Be patient with us. There'll be more information that will come your way. I think this is going to be a great thing. A lot of people have voiced that we needed this type of program, and it's here. So very excited to be a part of it, and look forward to seeing you all out there as well. Over to you, Kenny.
Yeah, just grateful for everyone taking the time to show their support this evening. We've been working incredibly hard to create this, to serve this age range. This is a key element in our organization's mission. So really appreciate your future partnership and support and helping us identify people in your community that can help us serve these kids. And very much looking forward to many other exciting things that we'll talk about this year on the program front as the next couple months go by.
Well, we've got a lot of positive comments coming in. People saying great decision. People excited. Think this is going to be great. So we thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we hope you have a great evening.